Today we're going to be making Kumihimo. In Japanese, that means the coming together of threads. You may have seen Kumihimo as friendship bracelets or the cords of lanyards, but really, they come from Japanese samurai. Samurais used to make these to hold their suits of armor together. They weren't expected just to be fierce warriors. They're also expected to take part in arts like writing, painting, and taking care of and making their own Kumihimo. So today, we're going to make our own Kumihimo. Kumihimo are traditionally made on a maru die. Looks like this. We're going to use a maru die made of cardboard. I have another YouTube video on how to create this, but for now let's just stick with the Kumihimo. To make a Kumihimo, you need your maru die, or a octagon-shaped piece of cardboard with notches at every side and a hole in the middle. We also need 4 pieces of yarn or thread, 2 of one color and 2 of another color. The length, they need to be the same length. In this case, I made them the same length as my arm span, which means if I spread out my arms, the length of the yarn is from one hand all the way across my body to the other. To get started, you need to take all 4 pieces of yarn, again, 2 of one color and 2 of another, and put all the ends together. I have 4 ends here. I need the ends on the other side all lined up together. It's okay if your yarn aren't all exactly the same length. Get it close. Find the loop or the center of all of your pieces of yarn. Make a loop around a finger. Then you're going to tie a knot by taking that loop and going around 2 other fingers and sticking it underneath and through all of the other pieces of yarn. We don't want to make our loop in this knot too big, but we are trying to make a knot that will make a loop on the very end. And we're going to pull tight. This will help us hold our Kumihimo inside of our maru die or our loom. It'll also give us something to hold on to, so when you're done, you could make a friendship bracelet, or you can put a key ring on the end and make a nice keychain. Next step, put the knot through the center of your maru die. This is where the the cord is going to start forming. Then you're going to take 2 of one color. Looks like I have 3 blacks here. Okay, 2 of one color, I have 2 blacks, and put them at the very top of your maru die. Take the same color and put it at the bottom. Put 1 in each notch. I've made the notches easier to see by making them black. Now, put the opposite color on the left and right sides. While you're doing it, sometimes it helps to hold the knot hole on the end. Now, we're ready to begin braiding or weaving our cord. First step is to work with the cord just like you would move the yarns around like their hands on the clock face. So we're going to start at the top right. Pretend it's the hand of a clock moving all the way down the clock, and then it can't go past the same color. It doesn't overlap the same color, so it goes to the notch next to it on the right. Now, switch your hands over and take the one on the left bottom, move it all the way up, just like the hand of a clock, and put it next to the same color. You're going to rotate, just like you would a clock face. Now these are already crossed, and that might get confusing because we never cross the same color. So I'm going to uncross those to make it easier for me in the future. Now, just like the black ones, I'm going to take my upper right and move it all the way down until it meets the same color. Again, it never crosses the same color. Then take the one on the lower left and move it all the way up to the top left. Then we rotate. I'm going to use my right hand again for the top right, rotate down to the bottom right, and the bottom left up to the top left. Rotate. And the pattern continues. You simply keep doing the same thing over and over again, always turning in the same direction. Now, if it's tricky to find the same direction, you can create or add arrows to remind you which direction you're going. You'll always be going clockwise. Everything is going clockwise. Now, I got distracted. Where was I? What needs to go next? To figure that out, we're going to look really closely at the center. Which pieces of yarn are on the top? In this case, it's the black. I can see they're overlapping the blue right here and right here. That means I need to turn the blue to the top and start on the same side, the right, move down to the right bottom, left bottom to the right top. You'll also find that sometimes your yarn starts getting tangled. To keep it from being tangled, pull out one cord at a time. You can try and comb your hands through, but it tends to make knots on the end. So one piece of yarn at a time seems to work the best. I got distracted again. Where was I? You can see here, the blue is crossing over the black right here and right here. So that means I need to rotate and start on my black. Top right to the bottom, bottom left to the top, and rotate. It's the same pattern over and over again. No changes. You'll get faster and faster as you get going, just so long as you remember to keep going in the same clockwise direction for everything, and that your threads do not cross over themselves. And occasionally remember to pull out the threads. As you get going, you can flip it over and see that it starts making a spiral. Let's take a look at one that's been worked on for a little while. It won't take long till you start making a very long cord, even long like this. When you're almost all done with your thread, you can take it off your loom and tie a knot in it. Then you can use that knot to make a cord or a rope. Thank you for joining me today. Have a great time making your own Kumihimo.